And yes, good evening. Good evening to everyone far and near, all those who are watching us from all over the whole world. This is the Afrobeat Live Fan Zone show in collaboration with Pitch Points, and we're here with some good friends to talk about Premier League, Champions League, and maybe even some La Liga from the last weekend and the games coming up this week. In particular, some big European games coming up on Tuesday, Wednesday, and the other competition on Thursday as well. I have with me all the way from the United States, Mr. Ade George. Welcome, dear. Welcome, man.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. I also have all the way from Everton, England, Carl Blundell, the Lone Toffee. Carl, how are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. How are yous?
You don't sound all right, mate. What's going on?
It's after Everton the other day. I think they've ruined me week.
You know, the funny thing was you actually predicted this. You said, you said Everton will win against Liverpool or win against Chelsea or City or Tottenham, then lose against Villa. And the performance was just shocking. Shocking.
It's typical Everton, though, mate. We spoke about it, haven't we? Look at how is Mason Holgate even a professional footballer? I'm sorry,
I thought you loved him. I thought he was a good guy. What happened?
I was loving him until there was a stat that came out, and Everton's last 10 goals. Guess how many Mason Holgate's been at fault for?
How many?
At least 6 of 10 of the last 10 goals we've conceded. And don't worry, I won't go on long, but it was a shit performance. Carlo has to take blame. Carlo completely got it wrong again, and don't worry, I'm not Carlo out. I'm not stupid, but it's another time where he's cost us a game. And for me, why are you bringing on Delph when it's 1-1? Like what? Like you bring on an attacker when you've got he's shit, but you bring on Josh King or Bernard. They are goal scorers. They can get goals or create something, but then he brings on Delph, and he's done this 3-4 times now recently, where he's cost us games, and we've won 3 games at Goodison since October 1st. That's horrendous. It's crap.
I tried to watch the game on Sunday. I actually slept off. I just couldn't keep my eyes open, man. It was really it's a tough watch. I don't know what's going on with Everton, because it's like you're close to the top 4 and you guys just throw it away. It's like you're so close and then you throw it away, and now you have to play West Ham next game, then you have to play City. I don't see how you make top 4, mate.
No, mark my words. Now that top 4, and even for me, top 7's bottled now. We'll probably lose to West Ham, Wolves, Sheffield, and then we'll play City at the Etihad and win 10-0. Because it doesn't matter. And that's the thing. I'm not even trying to have a laugh here. It's typical Everton. We don't show up when it matters, and when we do show up, the season's over. And I've had enough, and I just want the season to end, because I don't understand, one player goes out, James goes out, and we completely capitulate. It's just shit, isn't it?
Well, good luck to you on your journey for the rest of the season. Charlie, hi. Yes, it's a massive game tonight, Charlie. And Ade, how are you, buddy? Can't hear you, man. Can't hear you.
I'm on my phone today, so I'm trying to keep my connection.
So you watched the time. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Fantastic. Glad. We're trying to get through the weekend's games. I did the Crystal Palace game. Were you surprised with the lineup? Was that exactly what the doctor ordered?
Huh? I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Were you surprised with the lineup, or was the lineup exactly what the doctor ordered?
All right, I gotta fix my mic. My mic isn't working. Let me fix my technical difficulties. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. Right back. Hey, Ty, welcome, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we're just talking about the weekend's games. I think Chelsea played Fulham. I think you expected that to be a win. How was the performance? Looks like Tuchel played a false 9. Is that correct?
Yes, as I was expected. I think last show I said I hope he plays Pulisic as a 9 instead of Timo, but he played Kai instead, which is kind of the same thing. So I'm glad it worked out fine. It worked out well. It's good to switch it up. I understand resting Pulisic for Champions League in the middle of the week. So Kai Havertz was a good option to bring it.
Yeah. Watagwan Fisayo, welcome to the show. Before we get started on Champions League discussion, I want to talk about Emma Hayes of Chelsea women's team.
Yeah.
This is a woman I tremendously love and respect a lot. She's been at Chelsea now for 9 years. To survive as a coach at Chelsea, for 9 years is massive. Chelsea and City are probably the two best women's team in the league.
Yeah.
I think that right now maybe 2 points separates them in the league. They're always fighting for everything. But the way she carries herself, the way she coaches her team, I've said that she should coach one in the Premier League. I think she's good enough to coach in the Premier League, and to massive respect for her for qualifying for the Champions League, Women's Champions League against Barcelona in the final game. And I wish her all the best. Emma Hayes, kudos to you, ma'am. I think you're a fantastic coach, and I hope this gets to you. But I think you're brilliant. As a City fan, much respect to you, and good luck in your journey so far. Kudos to you. Yeah, she's fantastic. You know about her, Ty? She's fantastic, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched that game before a couple of times. I missed this particular game. I knew it was coming out, but I just couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I went back and watched extended highlights. It was a nail biter, man. Good comeback from being down from the first leg to and winning. I think it was 3-1 or 4-1 at the end of the day. So they needed to win at least 3-1, and they ended up winning 4-1.
I watch all the women's games. I mean, if you really love the game, if you watch a women's game, there's no falling over, there's no diving.
Women, they're very, very technical.
Very, very.
The games are more technical than guys because guys use a lot of pace and power and strength and all those things, and women is all about technicality and technical speed and ability. So it's great to watch. Instead of the game, you will enjoy the women's game a whole lot more when it comes to technical skills and ability.
Yeah, it's very, very technical. And if you look at the top teams in Europe, Lyon, Barcelona, City, Chelsea, the way they play, it's extremely technical. Lots of technical things you can see on and off the ball, the passing, the moving. It really is an enjoyable watch for those guys who don't think it's anything. Check it out. Check out I think it's on the 16th, next Sunday. Yeah. Check out the final between Barcelona and Chelsea. You will enjoy that game. Barcelona are a good team. A really, really, really good team. Chelsea are very good too. Okay. Let's talk about your game. So, I mean, nothing much. I mean, expected win against Fulham. I don't think there's anything that we could have called. I think it was clear what was going to happen. I know Ade is off right now. Did you watch the City game? Against Crystal Palace?
Yes, I did. Yeah, yes, I did. My mic was off. Yeah, I did. It was a good game. I think the lineup was kind of what we predicted. You got to rest KDB, you got to rest certain players, you got to play certain players. Aguero showed his class. His goal was fantastic. I mean,
jeez, man.
Again, it's one of those things that once you have it, you have it. You can't take it away from yours. Like riding a bike, you get on it. When you get those chances, you finish it.
I mean, see that strike, man. Look at that strike. I mean, how many strikers in the league can maybe Kane?
Yeah.
It was good to see, but it was also sad to see because he's leaving us, right? So it's like, oh my goodness, if you can do that for another club, it's incredible.
Yeah, all good things will come to an end sooner or later,
Yeah. Well, wait for our day. Let's kind of talk about the games happening. Let's start Wednesday since you're here as a Chelsea fan. We'll start with Chelsea. How do you feel going into this game, Chelsea fans? How do you feel going into this game against Real Madrid? That now that everybody's kind of almost back and it's 1-1. Has anything changed in the past week or so since we last talked about this?
No, not in my opinion. I'm still picking Chelsea, even though I'm a fan of Real Madrid. I'm a fan of Zidane. I always say you can't bet against Zidane in Champions League, but Tuchel has been able to do something that is special, and I'm praying and hoping that Chelsea can really, really pull off. The good thing is our defense is good. We're not conceding a lot of goals. I remember last game I said we got to watch out for Vinicius Juniors and Benzema. Benzema really, really went up. That was a great goal. You couldn't do anything about that. The defense, the defender was in a bad spot and he took advantage of it, 100%. So second leg, same thing. I'm still pointing out the same two guys, Benzema and Vinicius Junior. You really got to watch out for them. And Chelsea's got to try not to concede a goal. And if you do more than one, but we got to find a way to score.
Yeah. I think for Chelsea, I think the challenge will be trying to keep. Well, the challenge will be trying to score because Real Madrid may get at least one. I expect them to get at least one. It's trying to score. However, I think you have the advantage because you have the away goal. It's 1-1. Now, if you had 2-1 or 3-1 away, clearly the advantage is stacked in your side.
Yeah.
Going to keep Real Madrid out is going to be difficult. I heard that Varane is out. I think he's injured. He has a calf injury.
Oh no, I haven't heard that. Really?
Yeah, he has a calf injury, so he's out. Ramos, we don't know if he's back or not. The thing about Vinicius Junior is Vinicius Junior wastes chances. It's like Gabriel Jesus, right?
Yeah.
He takes him like 10 chances to even try and score one. So he frustrates me because it's like, this guy just score this goal. Now, what are you doing overplaying on the left hand side?
But
the
problem with him is his pace. We challenge any defender.
Yeah. And then on that side, who do you have playing on that side? You have Reece James playing on that side, right?
Reece James or Aspie, if you're going with the back three. So because of experience, I think Tuchel may go with Aspie.
Pace.
Because of experience. And then you have Reece James playing the fullback on that side.
Mm-hmm.
So you have two good players, but he's still very, very pacey. And anybody that watch Real Madrid, the way they pass, their long passes, the way they connect, that's their biggest asset. The passing is great. Even though Barcelona pass better because of shorter distance and little tick-tacker, their long distance 30, 40-yard passes is like some teams 5, 10-yard passes that Real Madrid can connect 20, 30, 40-yard like it's nothing. So you really can't take plays off. As a defender, if I was coaching this game, I'll be like, listen, this is one of those games you have to drink your coffee before the game and be 100% alert. You can't take plays off. You can't make any assumptions. Defend tight. Hopefully, Timo, we get 5 chances and put 2 away. That's what we have to pray for.
Carl, how do you see this game, mate? This game again on Wednesday, Real Madrid versus Chelsea.
I think it's going to be a tactical battle, not in between the players, but between Tuchel and Zidane. For me, and I think we've seen when it comes to tactics and when it comes to the way Tuchel sets up, the only manager to beat him, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is Sam fucking Allardyce. Seems to be the only manager that's actually defeated Tuchel at Chelsea, which I think he's still the only manager to actually beat Tuchel, isn't he? Sam Allardyce.
Yeah.
5-2, which when you look at that's mad, but both teams have weaknesses, and for me, I agree with what you said, Carl, about it's not very wise to play someone like Aspilicueta with Vinicius Junior's ability to easily glide past players because he's so fast. But the good thing is Kai Havertz is hitting form, and I said this to you, Ty, last week or the week before. Kai Havertz, if you play him centrally, he'll get goals, and I think he's gotten 5-6 goals since Tuchel come in. I'm going for a Chelsea 1-0 win.
Okay. Ty, where would this game be won or lost? What part of the field?
Both parts. It's not just one part. Chelsea's got to defend, and they got to finish. Right? 1-1. You have that away goal. So does you want to keep Real Madrid away from getting away goal, because if they score first, now you got to score 2 goals. If it's 1-1, then you go to extra time, which is going to be tough. So we got to finish. I think Chelsea are going to create chances. We just got to finish. So if you have to pick one side, I would say maybe on the attacking side, because we've been struggling to finish. So we really, really got to finish, but they got to clip that can.
Is Hazard fit to play? I think Hazard is he fit to play?
Yeah.
He played last game, so I don't think it's going to help them, to be honest. I still think Benzema and Vinicius Junior is their biggest threat.
Marco Asensio, is he fit?
Yeah.
I think so.
And on the Chelsea side, Kante, is Kante fit? Kovacic, I know he's injured, right? But is Kante fit?
So we'll find out tomorrow if Kante is playing or not. As of yesterday, he wasn't, but it wasn't ruled out yet. So in the pregame press conference that's coming out tomorrow, we'll find out. Definitely, I don't think Kovacic is going to play.
I mean, are they coming to you? We're talking about Chelsea game on Wednesday. We'll come to the City game in a minute. I mean, this is 90 minutes to a Champions League final. I mean, this is how big it is, right? It's massive. It doesn't get bigger than that. I think in Pep's conference today, he talked about the fact that semifinals are actually harder to win than the final itself because of the magnitude of the game that's before you, especially the second leg. right, where it's on the edge.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think nerves will play in this game for both teams? How do you see it going?
I think nerves will play a lot. I think more nerves for Chelsea though, because with Real Madrid is already in Champions League next year. Chelsea has to have one mind in that game, and another mind in another game. So
Yeah.
They're playing on two fronts. So I think the nerves are for Chelsea plus all the experiences with Real Madrid. They've been here before. The players are used to this kind of pressure. Chelsea hasn't been here in a while, since the last time they won the Champions League. And
Yeah.
then in subsequent years, they've come close, dropped off at quarterfinals, kind of like City. So there's big nerves to play in this, but I think it'll be a difficult game for Chelsea. It's really hard to call this game. It'll be close.
Mm.
But I don't know how to call this. I think Real Madrid is probably slightly favored just because they have the experience.
Yeah. So you think Real Madrid? I think Carl says Chelsea 1-0. I says Chelsea is going to go through. I can't call this.
I think Chelsea will score. I see it maybe tied 1-1 and maybe extra time.
Oof. Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Because I think, wait, Varane is also out though.
Yeah. Varane is injured.
Is Sergio Ramos back?
He may be back. That's what we're hearing.
Okay, well, if Sergio Ramos is not back and Varane is out, then Chelsea's winning. Put it that way.
Good. Okay, let's talk about the game tomorrow. PSG versus City, or City versus PSG. Another big game. How do you feel about this game? How do you feel? I feel kind of confident. I don't know why. How do you feel about this game?
I don't feel too confident. I think there's going to be a lot of things that are going to take people by surprise, but I have an idea of how tomorrow's going to go. There's going to be a lot of diving and falling, a lot of it, because what they're trying to do is even the game out and get somebody sent off, because that works best for them. So there will be a lot of complaining about silly fouls. There will be a lot. It will be almost like we played Porto and the same tactics they use. So it'll be a lot of that. I don't know if Mbappe will be fit enough to play, but we'll find out tomorrow. I think he still plays because it's a big game. But I think we score. So that's the confidence I have is that we score. So if we tie, we still move on. If we win, we move on. But we can't let them run up the score to like 2-3, and it makes the game more difficult for us. So if we manage with our defense to keep them in check, if a tie game moves us on, if we win by 1 goal margin, we still move on. So I think we're slightly favored, but I don't think we're as favored as a lot of people think.
So I have some good news for you. The referee for the game for City is Bjorn Kuipers, the Dutch guy. He doesn't take rubbish. All that diving stuff, he don't play. He just
I hope so. Neymar is going to be on the floor.
Nah,
every time Neymar has the ball, he's going to be on the floor.
One of the things I always do when I look at games like this, I always look at the referees. If it was Mr. Lahoz of Spain, then we have a problem, because that guy is just, or if it's that French guy. This guy is Bjorn Kuipers is a really one of the top refs in UEFA. He's really, really, really good. In fact, UEFA did so I remember that show that UEFA did on the referees, the man in the middle. Yeah, he was one of the top guys who was actually in that particular series itself. He's a really good ref. No, none of this nonsense that he would dive and so I think his role is going to be minimal. Let the game flow. Let's see what happens.
Honestly, I don't think there's going to be a lot of diving, because if PSG was up 2-1, right, then they're going to try to waste time and do all this crazy tactic.
No, not for wasting time, Ty. I don't mean for wasting time. I mean to try to get someone to. You'll see tomorrow. You'll see that.
You'll see that because they're behind, they're going to try to play the way they played the first half of the first leg. Mm-hmm. Because the first half of the first leg, there was no diving, there was no nonsense. They were simply moving the ball and trying hard to score. But the second half, again, I still blame Pochettino for maybe not emphasizing the fact that they need to continue to attack the way they played the first half. So because they're behind this time, I think they're going to try and press hard and just try to get a goal as early as possible. Now, if they happen, like you said, if they happen to mistakenly go up by 1 goal or 2 goals, then you're going to see all that crazy tactic going on.
I think the person who's going to be influential in this game tomorrow is going to be Edison. because I think they're going to try and press high, which Pochettino tries to do, try and press high and press us. I think Edison's long-range passing is going to be key tomorrow. I won't be surprised if you see something from him that's going to make a difference in that game tomorrow. Kyle, what do you think about the City game tomorrow against PSG?
It's a really tough one, isn't it? Because the last game was the saying it's a game of two halves. It was literally the perfect statement for the game last time. It was a game of two halves. I thought PSG were definitely the better of City in that first half. They were playing some lovely football, but I just don't think City got going, to be honest, in that first. And then in the second half, Pep, again, that's why for me he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, because he went back, analysed that something wasn't working, and then started pressing. And when City started pressing PSG's defence aren't very composed and they're not very compact on the ball, and you saw mistakes and errors which led City, which led realistically 2 good goals from City and a red card for the Everton man, Idrissa Gana Gueye. Again, I can't write PSG out, but I'm not going to say they're going to win. I genuinely just don't think you can write PSG out, because I don't think they are a world class team with world class players like Mbappe, Di Maria, Moise Kean, Verratti. But I'm going to go for a PSG 1-0. I'm actually not going to say City are going to score. I'm going to say 1-0 win PSG, but City still go through on away goals.
Ty, what do you think?
If Mbappe doesn't play, we win.
Yeah, Ty, what do you think the game's gonna end up with? Be the score, or?
I'm gonna stick to what my pick, which was City winning the second leg to win it, because I actually thought, last preview I said that PSG will win the first leg, but it's gonna be by a goal, and City will come back and finish them off the second leg. I still think City will finish it off. If I have to pick a score, I'll go with 2-1. City scoring 2, because PSG's defense is what it is. They can't fix that. They can't fix their defense over a 7-day period. So, and City will take advantage of that if they can play as clinical as they play the second half of the first leg.
Mm-hmm. Are they coming to you on that? The fact that City got in their groove in the second half, which they kind of figured out what PSG were doing, and they figured out man to man how they react and who they are. You don't think that's going to be an advantage for City going into the game tomorrow, in terms of we now know you, we've had a taste of you, we understand what you do, and we're ready to basically play our football to out football you throughout the whole game and win the game?
Well, I mean, I don't think that's more of an advantage, because I kind of look at PSG as a better front line with regards to, like, if you take Liverpool, every time we play Liverpool, it's a difficult game. It's not always easy, because even though we know them, we know how they play, they still have that front line. And I think with PSG's front line, it's actually more formidable than theirs. So even though we know what they're going to do, that first half, the first few minutes, the pressing, it's just something, it's coming. It's still hard to prepare for. So if they do the same things they're doing before, they are going to put that pressure on us, and then we have to overcome it. I think we overcome it eventually in the second half, but that first half makes it very difficult. And but I still think we win. I think the key is, if Mbappe is not fit, it means Walker can help out in other areas. But if Mbappe is at his peak, Walker is going to have a handful. But if he's not, Walker is going to be able to help out, and then that frees up the team for us.
Yeah, I mean, what I know of calf injuries, and Ty can back me up here, calf injuries are never easy to overcome in a week. In fact, if you stretch yourself too much with a calf injury, it can damage you, and that can take you out for a couple of weeks or even months. And he has a calf injury. It's the same kind of injury that Jack Grealish has as well, a calf injury which he's struggling to overcome. So they probably play him, give him some shots, but when it comes to Walker matching up against him, it should be interesting to see. I just think, guys, that PSG have a good front line, but they have a very soft center, midfield, and defense. And if we play the way we can play, even if Chelsea are playing against PSG, they play the way they play through the lines, and attack that midfield and that defense, I think we can get at them. I think their weakness is that defense.
Yeah, I did watch PSG this weekend, and that Marquinhos is really good. Like, he scored another header. He scored another header in that game, almost similar to the one he scored against us.
Yeah.
So I think that's something. Set pieces, they're going to try to get their goal off, maybe a set piece, because it's really hard to break City down coming through the middle, because our defense is solid. But our defense in the air is not good right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see. It'll be a close game again, and I
So,
think we pull it off.
so wrapping it up. Does Aguero start tomorrow?
No, Aguero doesn't start. Aguero comes in off the bench.
Nah,
So-
I agree with that date now. You don't start Aguero. He had a
Aguero
good
doesn't start.
weekend, but that's a different team. You know.
Yeah.
Aguero, you need pace. You need pace to especially in that first half. Aguero comes in when everyone is tired in the second half, and then he can really put pressure on defense. But he doesn't start. No.
Speaking about pace, would you start Sterling?
No, because I can't trust Sterling to finish. I mean, it's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
He's fast, but when it comes to being clinical in front of goal, he's still so hesitant, and Foden is not that. Foden is, even though Foden doesn't really finish, but he doesn't get in front of goal and hesitate. I think Foden's issue now is placement, where to place the ball. All the time, you don't have to shoot all the time just through the laces. Sometimes you can place it in the corner. So once he figures that out, he'll be complete. But I think that the lineup is the same lineup that we played last time, and then Aguero comes in the second half.
Yep. Okay, so we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big game. Wednesday's another big game. It could be 2 English teams in the final of the Champions League. How massive is that?
Again, for the second time in 3 years. But I just want to say, I said this to Addy, I think it was the Dortmund fixture. That Ferran Torres, every time I watch him, he's always scoring or assisting. I don't know how, I think he's 22, 21. That kid is extremely talented. And I think because he hasn't featured a lot and because Foden is probably taking a lot of the hype, I think Ferran Torres deserves a lot of hype. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's good in the Champions League game. He's struggled in the league. But in this kind of game, you need the Bernardo Silvas, you need the Mahrez, you need Foden, you need De Bruyne, you need a system that's helped you go get this. Because if you expose him to this game and he misses a chance, it could become a psychological problem for him. But he is clinical. But who does he replace? That's the question, right?
Sure. When you get players who you watch and they just catch your eye, he's one of them for me. Even in the league, when I watch him, there's something about him, the way he moves the ball, how confident he is on the ball for his age is crazy. And I'm not, I don't say this often, but you've got with him and Foden, they're wingers, and you could even say midfielders that are going to last City at least 10 years because they're both phenomenal.
Yeah. Let's talk about Thursday real quick before we wrap up. Arsenal. Do they get through to the final
against Villarreal? No.
Yeah.
No.
I think we said it before the first leg that they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. So you guys have no chance to get through at home against Villarreal? No chance at all?
No. That's a professional team right there. They're not getting past.
Because 1-0 takes them through, right?
Yeah, but Villarreal will score.
Yeah, it's not going to be 1-0. They might even lose on the day.
Yeah, they might even lose, but Villarreal is definitely going to score.
So what are they going to? They're out. No Europe, no Europa League, no Champions League, nothing.
At this point, I don't think they get anything.
Yeah.
The new conference isn't the new conference teams 8 to 9.
They may not get the new league.
They're not going to make it.
They're not going to make it. They're out of Europe.
Oh wow. Yeah, no Europe for them. Well, it gives them a chance to actually focus on the league.
But then we play players.
Well, with the team they have right now, I think if the only thing they have to concentrate on is the league, I think they finish at least top 7. I think they do.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think this is a game where Arsenal have to be aggressive, but also smart. But we've not seen that this season. Let's be real. And Villarreal is so good. They're incredible. And they've got Arsenal, the defence, they're all clowns at the back. They make it. Stupid, silly errors, and you can't give away things like penalties or free kicks with Gerard Moreno. Gerard Moreno scored, I think 40% of his goals have been penalties. He's incredible with penalties. I just think, again, I said this last week, didn't I? It's different when you lose to Olympiacos or when you lose to Benfica, or even if you lose to an English team, but it's to him. It's not like you've lost to a random coach. That man wasn't good enough for the club. They got rid of him and brought in this man who's supposed to lead them players. And let's be real, you could argue it was never a penalty. And Arsenal got very lucky in that game. Realistically, even with their sending off, they got pretty lucky. So for me, I think I can't see it. I genuinely think Arteta's going to go on Thursday. I genuinely think he's gone. And this might be a bold statement, but I can genuinely see, because it looks like Bielsa's not signing a contract that Leeds. I see Bielsa going to either Arsenal or Tottenham.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. But yeah, so no chance for Arsenal. I'm keeping one eye on them. I think, I'll give them hope for the Arsenal fans. They may be hope for you guys, but looks like Ade, Ty, and Carl say, sorry, buddy, no hope for you guys. The United game is dead. Now that's a dead rubber. There's no point in talking about that.
Yeah, that doesn't even count. Okay. No need to talk about that one. That's over.
Just finally, this riot on Sunday, Man United, Liverpool, the issues at the Old Trafford. I mean, you guys watch it? What were your thoughts about that? Ade and then Ty?
Well, with that, I feel I don't know. I think it was ugly. I think a bunch of those fans seemed like they were drunk. What I had a problem with was security. I think United security has to do a better job than that. For a group of people, I don't know, to be able to get onto the ground when the stadium is supposed to be closed to the public, and then not only that, but get into the dressing room.
Yeah.
As a player, watching that tells you you're not safe, and that gives ideas to people. Well, for the most part, it was a peaceful protest, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the message it sends is for people that actually want to be unruly and do something harmful. It tells them they have a way to get in.
Yeah.
If they can get into the dressing room of the players, I mean, I feel like that was a black eye for Man United, and trying to force a billionaire to sell a team. That's a hard thing to do. Like you can't really force a billionaire's hand like that. If he only sells if he starts losing money, and to
Correct.
lose money, you need to stop watching, stop buying stuff, which no one is going to do. So you're not forcing a billionaire's hand. So I feel like you made your point. They dropped out of the Big Six, but to go on the field like that and damage property and threaten police, they actually got violent with police. I mean, that's a black eye for the United fans that did that.
It was. Ty, so I didn't mention, making money. The reality is, and fans don't want to hear this, unfortunately, the match-going day fans' revenue contribution towards Man United's bottom line is probably 2, 3, 4%. It's not very much. Yeah. The majority of the money comes from commercial, but also comes from TV revenue.
Yeah.
So so if they think that, rioting or going on the pitch and getting on the goalpost is going to change the Glazers' mind, it's not. And in fact, it just makes things worse. Chelsea had a protest, but it was peaceful, right?
Yeah.
About the ESL. How did you see this whole thing?
So, I mean, like I just said, it was ugly. It was unnecessary. The actual protests, by the way, I'm disappointed in the city of Manchester's police department, whatever they call them. I don't know what they call them over there. They knew about this protest almost the whole week. You were not prepared. They got onto the ground. You waited almost an hour to deploy 12 police officers or less. That's shameful. That's like what happened in America on January 6th.
Correct. Yeah, almost exactly.
You know this is going to happen. This is not a spontaneous event that just happened. So let's tell the truth about that. That's number one. Number two, yes, fans don't bring in money, but fans are the heart and soul.
Correct.
Every club. Let's be real about that.
Yes.
Because like I've always said, money is not everything, right? Yes, money is a big part of a lot of things in life, but money is not everything. As the heart and soul of a club, you have the right to protest. Correct. You have the right to not attend games. I can't remember the event. Maybe Kyle can remember the event last year. I forgot what club where the ticket when I saw that, but this was before COVID, that it was like maybe 50% sold because fans were protesting and they didn't come in and stuff like that. You can do that. The peaceful protest outside was fine. The Chelsea protest about the AFL, I mean, I remember seeing Peter Cech coming out and telling the guys, hey, guys, calm down, let the buck in. We get your point. We heard you, but let's do things the right way. And, cooler head prevail in that situation. In this particular situation, I think it's a few hooligans because there was a whole lot more people outside doing peaceful protesting that actually got into the stadium. And the ones that get into the stadium, you're gonna have those. It's just like the Black Lives Matter protest. You have the Antifa and everybody else that want to take advantage of that. The good thing is those guys basically snitch on themselves, right? So if the FA and the politicians and the power to be want to punish them, I think they should punish those guys that actually got in. Give them some serious punishment, ban them from the stadium for life, or give them a few months in jail, so that way we don't see a repetition of stuff like this. Especially the guy that lost his shoe, the little kid that was on the goalpost, make a good example of those guys, so this kind of situation does not repeat itself over and over again. So I'm not going to blame all Manchester fans, because again, like I said, majority of them were outside. Even though some got in, majority of those guys were still outside. The people that got in was less than 100, let's be real. So it is what it is. It's ugly. You're going to have drunk fans. That's every club.
Carl, just coming to you finally on this point, you're in England. Now, I know in England there's lots of CCTV. Nothing gets past the police because you have cameras literally everywhere. I think they're probably one of the most hooked up cities and countries in the world in terms of camera and CCTV. All those guys who are, throwing, camera equipment, jumping on stealing the balls. There's a guy in a zebra pants with a red shirt. I mean, you saw that guy in the zebra pants with a red shirt, a guy on the goalpost. What's going to happen to them? Are the police going to go after them?
Well, not really been any confirmation yet, but for me, I believe in freedom of speech and protesting 110%, but you can't say into violence, because that's what the Glazers wanted. They would have wanted that, because now that protest has been portrayed as violence, as evil, as toxic. So what they wanted has been fulfilled, because these idiots who, because like Ty said, they were fans outside the stadium that were protesting peacefully. They're the ones I feel sorry for. They wasted their trip down there because it's been ruined by idiots, and these idiots who have, let's be real, the Glazers weren't there, so what are they actually doing? Let's be real, they're attacking their own stadium. Like, that's silly and that's absolutely stupid. And we're in a, let's be real, this year's been tough enough. The last 18 months has been tough enough with COVID restrictions, people with mental health, every issues in the world, and to have these bunch of idiots go into a stadium and just mess things up, and it's like, let's be real, the fans outside, they didn't deserve it, because now let's be real, we've not heard in the news, have we? I don't know if it's the same in America, but it certainly is over here. The media are pushing the narrative of it was all the fans that protested. It wasn't the 64 whatever it was idiots inside the stadium. It was the amount of fans, and like I said, it's a shame, because the real fans that were there, the ones that were protesting peacefully, have now been, what they wanted ruined, and what they wanted to push out ruined by a bunch of idiots who wanted to cause violence. And for me, it's heartbreaking, because we saw how Chelsea, protest was successful. They were listened to, and I don't know, let's be real, the Glazers are very tough businessmen. They probably won't listen, but we saw the protest at Liverpool. At the end of the day, regardless of if they listen or not, they were still protesting, and let's be real, this has got football fans on side, from Everton, from Arsenal, from Liverpool, from City. They've all come together for this, and it's just putting football in a bad light. And for me, you saw it, and Ty raised a good point, and you raised a good point, Carl. Realistically, their ticket sales don't mean nothing to the club, because they make that back in merchandise 20, 50 times more probably. And you stop buying the kits, and there's idiots there who are protesting inside the stadium wearing Manchester United kits. And it's like...
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, I think I heard today in the radio said that the Glazers want to take the revenue for Man United from 3 billion today to 10 billion in a couple of years. So clearly that's not going to be based on ticket sales. That's based on commercial TV rights and the whole apparatus. So they're not going to sell. Same thing with Arsenal wanting Conte out. Conte ain't going to sell Arsenal. He's making too much money from it. The guys got to figure out how to win on the field with what they have. Frankly, that's kind of where we are. But
I do think what the fans have done successfully is for future owners, for future business that want to buy into football club.
Yeah,
they will tread lightly. They will understand the business more than they get it. This is not like buying American franchise, sports franchise, where you're gonna make a profit regardless, because the league back you to make money. If you're gonna invest in a European club now, you're gonna be a little bit smarter before you spend all that money.
Yep.
But that's a narrative. I don't. They're framing this to make it seem like it's all about just the American owners, and that's really false. The biggest um um story clubs in the world were the masterminds behind it. I mean, yes, the Glazers were there too, but Juventus, that's a massive club.
No, we're talking
Barcelona,
about in
they're
England, though. It's mostly the American owner.
yeah, but we're talking about the involvement in the ESL, and I think that gets lost in translation. That okay, because the American owners that own the British club tried to join the ESL. It seems that, if you've noticed, it's a lot of focus on just the American owners, and that's a narrative I don't really flow with. If you look at the collective, the most storied clubs were in there. I mean, Juve, Barcelona, Real, Inter. I mean, come on. So that narrative kind of rubs me the wrong way. It's all about.
Yeah, I feel like if you could listen, Gary Neville he's an opportunist, in my opinion. He's leveraging this ESL thing to fan the flames of this Glazer issue because they know they never want the Glazers to be there. Yeah. I guarantee you this. If they were winning titles and they were Champions League semifinals and finals, this protest won't be as bad as it is today. I can guarantee you. No. It won't be. Because that will glaze over the issue around, because the reality is that they spent money. They took out money, but they spent on Pogba, Sanchez.
A lot of money.
The problem is, Carl, is if you look at 2005, 2007, when they were winning league titles, and even when they won the Champions League, the fans still weren't happy with them. Because, and for me, and obviously I agree with you, Adi, I think it's not fair just to put 100% of the blame on the American owners, which it seems the media have done. But the problem is when Liverpool owner came to the Premier League, he wanted to change the way the league set up. He wanted it to be an 18-man league, and he wanted more of the revenue just to stay with the big six, which for me it doesn't sit well with me. And you know this whole Super League doesn't sit well with me anyway. I think it's I have my opinions on it, but I think United. I think that's the problem. Is a lot of people and a lot of media are saying that if United weren't winning, but the problem is even when they were winning in 2009, 2010, there were protests out the side of Old Trafford. I remember it was 2011. One of Fergie's, before they won the league, the fans there's only like 35,000 fans actually turned up to the game because they didn't want. The problem is these guys are like the toxic, strict businessmen.
But Carl, let's be fair though, right? I mean, these are the same fans who want Haaland, they want Sancho. The local Englishman is not going to do that. That's the reality. So pick your poison. You want to have those players, or you want to be mediocre and not have any money. That's exactly. Unfortunately, Chelsea City have owners who don't load the club with debt, who put equity in the club, right? And are looking at sporting success versus financial.
That's a great point, Carl. That's something I've been saying to a lot of people, on Twitter. I talk to frequently about it. A lot of people have been saying that, but let's be real, the main protagonists behind it was Manchester United, Liverpool. The City and Chelsea didn't really seem like the main protagonists. They seemed like just tag-alongs because everyone else was doing it. That's what it seemed like from the outside. Yeah. Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid. What do all these teams have in common? They're all in massive amounts of debt, a lot of debt. And it seemed a bit, in common in that they were all immediately trying to do this because, you raised the point, clubs are broke right now. Clubs are broke. And, but the problem is for me, it's got to be half and half. It's got to be a bit of both. But, again, I'm just going to finish my point on it. It's a shame it happened because, with these protests, they would look so great and they were bringing football fans back together, and then some idiots go and ruin it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The whole issue has now been muddied, and there's so many factions and so much division, which strengthens the hands of the owners now, right? Because you can bring fans in 50+1, the same fans who were on the pitch with the balls, with the cameras thrown. It becomes hard to argue that.
Yep.
And if they don't win again this year or next year, it's only going to get worse.
Yep.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of EPL. It's not about birthright. You know what I mean? You got to put effort into it. You got to invest into it. You got to bring in the best coaches. You got to really, really put effort to win, to stay on top. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
No, not easy at all.
No. Which is why, Ty, and we talked about this many times on the show, different shows, that if you look at the past couple of years, English teams are now beginning to dominate Europe. Yeah. Liverpool winning the Champions League. Arsenal, Chelsea winning the Europa League. This year, we could have 4 teams in the finals. all final.
Oh
Next,
wow, yeah. That's
but next
possible.
year it will also be the same.
3 minus.
He says it's minus Arsenal.
Minus
I also think, Carl. I also think that I love what Ty said about that. Not just the Premier League, but the English Football League and all leagues have to really make sure and check who they allow them to buy these clubs, because we saw it with Bury, who were a very prestigious club. Yes, they're not the most successful, but historical club in England. They're gone forever because they were allowed to be corrupted by owners. And let's be real, there's a lot of clubs in the Premier League whose owners shouldn't even be allowed to own a Premier League team. Mike Ashley's one of them. He's the dodgiest businessman probably out of any owner in the Premier League.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've just did this, but it's full disclosure. We don't know that. That's the assumption that people are making. So from our perspective, we can't fact. We don't know that, so we can't fact check that.
He's been found guilty though of certain things because he offers people. I don't know if it's the same in America.
We can't talk to that, Kyle, because that's an allegation that we can't fact gate the facts on. So let's be careful there. It's alleged, but we can't. On the show we can't go to that as well. So, but tomorrow, Wednesday, back to the football stuff that we love. Are we hopeful, happy, excited? Everyone?
Yeah, I'm a bit confident. I'm a bit confident in the fact that I think City can pull it off because we have disciplined players that will come together and really focus. It's all about focusing at this point and just avoiding the little mistakes. Because at the end of the day, if nobody scores, we move on. So you just have to be a little bit disciplined.
Exactly.
And I think with Chelsea too, it's the same thing. If nobody scores, you move on. It takes discipline though for 90 minutes, not 45
plus.
Not just dribbling in the middle of like you can't be a defensive midfielder and say you want to wiggle your way out of three people. You're just don't be that guy.
Which is why I think Fernandinho starts tomorrow.
That's why Fernandinho got taken out because the experience factor comes in.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm hoping. Sorry, last words.
Yeah, I was gonna say according to Footmob, because they really actually pretty good with their probable lineup. The probable lineup has got Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne, and Foden, the top front three. Silva, Rodri, and Gundogan in the middle.
Rodri's not playing tomorrow.
You don't think so?
I think Fernandinho starts because Rodri played the whole game.
Yeah, he played 290 minutes in 3 days.
Yeah, so I think Fernandinho starts because of plus he knows all those Brazilian. So it's a kind of it's a thing that Pep really is taking into account.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens. Ty, good luck tomorrow. Good luck on Wednesday.
I think Chelsea will pull it out. I think it'll be close. Even with the experience factor that Real Madrid have, I have a feeling now, just like this minute, that I think Chelsea will pull it out.
Thank you. I think the two English clubs will see themselves in the final, which will be very, very interesting.
It's absolutely interesting.
That means you know what that means. That means we would have to play each other three times in the next few weeks.
Yep.
Twice.
3 times.
Twice.
Wait.
Where's the third time? Twice.
I'm missing one. Oh yeah, twice.
No, one is already gone. So yeah, you're right too. It's
twice. Oh, you're right. Twice.
League and Champions League.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that we get to see two English teams in finals, and then hopefully we get to see two English teams in the
in Europa. I
League.
really wish Arsenal could pull it off. I just feel like Villarreal is they're too smart. They have an experienced manager.
I mean, given between Arsenal and United winning, I'll pick Arsenal winning.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I want United to win because of the coach. I want Ole to win something so that the fans that always disrespect him, even the Man U fans, that was at least Jose won Europa. No, let Ole win it and then let's erase Mourinho's visits to Man U forever.
Ideally, I would want Arsenal to win because I like Arteta. So I'm being biased.
I do like Arteta, but I just think his team is not ready. They don't have the players right now.
Yeah.
And plus, if they get to the Champions League next year, they're going to be battered anyway, back out in the group stages. So, Anyway, well, till tomorrow, you guys take care. Carl, good night. Take care. Sleep tight.
Carl, have a good night, buddy. I know it's late over here.
I just wanted to say though before we do wrap up, it's something I think is very important. I was proud of the way the whole football community took the whole social media blackout
Yeah.
over the weekend, because abuse is something that's completely, I think's been kind of let off because of the other Super League and things in football right now, and I think it shouldn't be second best to anything. It should be the main topic of
Yeah,
discussion, because no
100%.
player deserves to be abused over sexuality, race, nothing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're all the same, no matter what, how much somebody earns. They've still got a heart and they're still a person. We've seen it, you know. Like, and I don't like your certain pundits that are coming out talking about like Graham Souness after the stuff he said about players like Paul Pogba. But for me, it's we should all, you know, we should all stick by one another and just instead of just going to type something in that, you know, could be mean, just don't type it in. If you've got nothing nice to say or nothing nice to type or nothing, just don't say nothing at all and just be kind to people, because let's be real, the world's messed up as it is with people in the world, and let's
Yep.
just be nice to each other.
Absolutely. Well said, mate. And okay, so all out there, thank you for joining us on the chat. This is Afrobeat Life Fan Zone show, and we will see you hopefully on the other side of the European competition with 2 English teams in the final of both competitions. Till then,
Yes,
take
sir.
bless. Good night.